Let's Play The Outer Worlds, Teil 52. So, jetzt habe ich mir mal die Haare gewaschen und mich rasiert und da bin ich auch schon wieder. Weiß natürlich jetzt nimmer, wo wir hier sind. Was hat man denn jetzt eigentlich vor? Jetzt steht das wieder da. Aha! Ich schaffe. Ach so. Na gut, dann gehen wir nach Byzantium, oder? Dann gehen wir halt nach Byzantium. Schauen wir mal, dass wir da oben noch reingitschen können. Ich nehme mal wieder alle meine Karten zurück und ich will sie immer sortiert haben, schön. Also jetzt erstmal diese Waffen hier, ne? Den brauche ich ja eigentlich auch noch. Brauche ich ja nicht mehr. Den Überzeuger brauche ich gerade auch nicht. Tapferkeitsmedaille, ja. Plasmagewehr. Ja. So machen wir das, ne? Also, erstmal die lustigen Sachen hier. Helme. Verkaufen wir halt 89, Helme mit 89, 36, 67, die nehmen wir noch mit. Jawohl, diese 4 Helme reichen, jetzt diese Rüstungen. 103, das ist natürlich gut, ne? 67, 72. Gut, den Rest verkaufen wir. So, also Glenlatier einmal, Marina Bekeshko einmal, Aaron Dubois einmal, Karl Radu einmal, Aldo Vincente einmal, Matthew Singh einmal, Brandon Rosser, Tyson Christensen, B.R. Guthrie und Thomas B. Henry. Rosser, Karl Radu, Aldo Vincente, Matthew Singh. Ja. Werden irgendwie nicht mehr. Gut, der Rest wird verkauft. Wir machen uns jetzt auf nach Byzantium.
Captain, transmission request from Ambrose Mayor.
Mhm. Ich schätze, Mini will ein Update. Stell sie durch.
Captain, imagine my surprise when I saw the Unreliable leaving Gorgon with so much urgency and purpose. Tell me you found Mother's journal. I'm positively dying for good news.
Noch nicht. Das Büro deiner Mutter war strikt abgeriegelt.
Too bad. But on the bright side, you've outdone my old freelancer. I don't think you made it very far at all. If I know Spacer's choice, getting past the lockdown will be more complicated than just hitting a big red button. You'll need authorization and layers of it.
Ich schätze, deine Mutter hat ja nicht zufällig irgendwelche Passwörter oder mysteriöse Schlüsselkarten hinterlassen?
No. I think you're going to have to rely on good old-fashioned detective work. It's a good thing you have keen senses, a reliable ship, and a very wealthy sponsor.
Wusstest du, dass Gorgon Adrenatime entwickelt hat?
I knew Mother was involved with some important chemical trials, but I had no idea her pet project was Adrenatime. Adrenatime is a working man's stimulant, like a caffeinoid. Very popular at launch, though the marketing quieted down over time.
Wusstest du, dass Adrenatime die Plünderer geschaffen hat?
What? No. I mean, there's some very morbid wording in the fine print, but I had no idea Adrenatime could make marauders out of people. That's it. That must be it. Spacer's Choice is keeping their dirty little secret about Adrenatime off the record. We have to find Mother's journal. If we don't, then Spacer's Choice gets away with murder. I only hope we aren't too late.
Warum würde Spacer's Choice alles für ein Aufputschmittel aufs Spiel setzen?
Adrenatime was touted as the working man's best friend. A drug that boosted productivity with no adverse effects. The promise of Adrenatime cannot be overstated. Exhaustion and fatigue were supposed to be obsolete. Workplace accidents would be things of the past. For whatever reason, the drug never lived up to that promise.
Ich gehe dann wieder. Du kennst dich wirklich aus, Mini.
Thank you. I certainly ought to know what I'm doing. I spent years trying to break into pharmaceuticals, professionally speaking. Mother wouldn't hear of it. She didn't think I had the wit to succeed in her line of work. Safe travels. If your leads give you any trouble, be sure and give them some trouble back, yes?
Ich werde es mir merken, man sieht sich, Mini.
Ta!
We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Byzantium. Vielleicht machen wir die Begleiterquest jetzt mal? Wer weiß. Warum nicht? Tagebuch. Kreuzzug im Weltraum. Besuche Ellies Eltern. Jawohl. Warum nicht? Aber jetzt schauen wir uns hier erstmal ein bisschen um. Ah ja. Weiß ich ja schon nicht mehr. Weiß ich ja schon mal nicht, wo es hier rausgeht. Muss ich hier vielleicht irgendwo... Da ist Carmen Imagawa.
Do you mind? I'm meeting someone.
Ja, mich. Finis hat mich geschickt.
No names, okay? The Phoenix is a wanted man and the board has eyes everywhere in Byzantium.
Wer ist der Phoenix?
Yeah, that's my code name for, you know, our mutual friend.
Was ist dein Codename?
Oh, I'm Golden Eagle.
Habe ich auch einen Codenamen?
Yeah, I named you Cuckoo.
Genug davon. Du hast doch Informationen für mich, oder nicht?
Does this mean I'm supposed to have one too? Fine, but make it a really good one.
Let's go with Rufus Hummingbird.
Forget it. Codenames are for amateurs anyway.
Too late. I've already marked it off. Can't just go reassigning codenames.
Oh, can I be chicken? Because chickens will adopt any critter's baby and keep him warm.
You sure you don't want to be Raven or Sparrowhawk?
Aw.
Okay. Chicken it is. Anyway, you're looking to make contact with Minister... Magpie, right? I should warn you, it won't be easy. He spends most of his time in his estate, which is heavily guarded.
Könntest du mich ins Anwesen des Ministers einschleusen?
Whoa, I'm not one of your B&E specialists. I just provide intelligence.
Okay, was kannst du mir verraten?
Some of the guards hang around Billingsley's House of Inebriation between shifts.
That place is still open? I used to study there during medical school.
Maybe you could do some reconnaissance there. You know, swipe a key while nobody's looking.
Danke für die Info.
Just remember, you didn't hear it from me.
Wie bist du eigentlich an diese ganze Sache hier geraten?
I've always been fascinated by birds. If you ever research Earth species, there are thousands of them. So colorful and distinct.
Here we got 11 flavors of terror rays and not much else. That kind of variety? I mean, gosh. Seems almost impossible.
The other thing about birds, though, is their environmental indicators.
Wenn sie aussterben, ist das ein Zeichen dafür, dass etwas nicht stimmt.
Exactly. I started thinking about everything we see around Halcyon, and all the things we don't see.
Zum Beispiel?
For starters, you rarely come across anyone living in Byzantium who wasn't born here, even though we get ships in all the time.
Trust me, anyone with a lick of sense gets out of here as soon as possible.
But most people don't. In fact, most people stay exactly where they start. Doesn't that seem strange to you?
Ja.
And then there's the way nothing gets fixed. There used to be a suggestion box around here. People would drop ideas in. Nothing ever came of them, of course.
Na, es läuft doch immer so mit Ideenkasten.
Sure, that part is.
Yes.
That's why they install shredders in those boxes, after all. But one day the shredder broke. No one came to fix it. And since it wasn't working, we didn't have anywhere to file our complaints. So you can imagine how messy things got.
I bet your repair folks couldn't find parts. Back in Edgewater, I'd have to take something apart just to put another thing back together.
Might have been the paperwork. Here, you have to append forms to your forms, and law help you if there's a single dash out of place.
Und?
At first, men put up an out-of-order sign, but that just seemed to worry people, like they were advertising something wasn't working. They eventually took the whole suggestion box sign down so that people didn't have any expectations about it. But they never fixed it, never replaced it. Doesn't that seem odd to you?
Ja.
The whole episode made me wonder. If they can't fix something as simple as a suggestion box, what else aren't they fixing? After a while, I got connected with our mutual friend and started using my position here to feed him information when I could. That's it, really.
Es muss doch einen Weg geben, den Minister an einem weniger gesicherten Ort zu erwischen.
Afraid not. He almost never leaves his home and his guards never leave him.
Can't say I blame him. It's scary out of doors. I mean, can you even count how many times we've been shot at?
What work specialists, huh? Our mutual friend is really branching out.
Sieht aus, als ob ich da was zu erledigen hätte,
Good
ja?
luck, Cuckoo.
Na, da geht's raus. Street Access. Retirees, Ruheständler. Street Access. Gut. Wollen wir mal Ellies Eltern besuchen, ja? Wow!
Why can't something exciting happen around here for once?
Byzantium. Alter Schwede. Maverick Johnson.
You want to be famous?
Ja.
Kid, you got presence. Natural magnetism. Know what I mean?
Ja. Das ist schon mal ein vielversprechender Anfang.
Tell you what, you're gonna like it a whole lot more once we start talking bits. Listen, you got an agent? Some kind of representation?
Ich betrachte mich als freischaffend.
Fresh, natural talent. I know it when I see it. Listen, you got a real special quality, raw energy. I see you in pictures, kid.
Sag mir einfach, was du mir anbieten kannst.
I'm making a feature, Space Pirates of Moros Prime. It's gonna be a hit. But we still need a star. And I think you got the chops.
Not so fast. First, we gotta talk about royalties.
Let's just see where this audition goes, huh? So what do you say? You ready for the chance of a lifetime?
Ich bin dabei.
Terrific. We're holding auditions at the studio. Head to Odeon Pictures and take the elevator. You're going all the way to the top, baby.
Aber wir wollen ja jetzt erstmal zu den Eltern gehen, ne? Das ist wieder ein Verkaufsautomat. Ho. Nicht schlecht, ne? So, wo wohnen denn jetzt die Herrschaften? Romanov, Eridanus, Konzernsoldat.
I'm afraid I can't come down to the floor. Request a counter waiver.
All right, how does this sound?
Da ist also Odeon Pictures. Hier jetzt erstmal zu den...
Today marks a monumentous occasion in the course of Halcyon history. After a deep and thorough examination of our budgets,
Im Villenviertel wohnen die Natascha her.
Marvel of existential emptiness.
Hortense Inglesby.
Oh, there. That's one right there. How splendid. Another rung leech wandering through the streets of Byzantium. Why, just this morning I thought to myself, as lovely as the gardens are, what they really need is more greasy vagrants frolicking through them. And here you are, frolicking.
Eine ganz schön unhöfliche Art, jemanden zu begrüßen.
Forgive me if my manners don't live up to the standards of an interloper who accosts total strangers in their own neighborhood. Honestly, what is the board thinking letting so many of your ilk into the city proper? It's madness.
Wenn der Vorstand keine Leute in die Stadt lassen soll, was machst du dann hier?
I earned my place here, just like everyone else. My grandfather was the CIO at Teil, you see.
Was ist ein CIO?
Chief Idea Officer. He came up with all the best ideas for their products. You know the font they use for Stogie Slims? That was him. Well, he described the idea of it to their font development team, then picked it from a list of choices, but that's basically the same thing. It was a very long list.
Welche anderen Ideen hat er denn noch gehabt?
Let's see. He picked the colors they included in rainbow chips. No one else wanted purple, but he insisted. Everyone loves the purple ones. And you know how the Cosmic Smokes logo has an eye in the middle of a heptagon? He said that one came to him in a dream. He was a true visionary, so far ahead of his time.
Okay, aber was hast du getan, um deinen Platz hier zu verdienen?
I just told you. My grandfather made millions of bits as CIO, and I earned them from him.
Bits zu erben ist nicht dasselbe, wie sie zu verdienen, ne? Ist
Of
schon
course it
klar.
is. Wealth is the most visible, objective measure of success. And success isn't given to you, it's earned. My grandfather taught me that. If you have wealth, you're successful. And if you're successful, you must have earned it. Honestly, it's a simple concept.
Ich verstehe.
You're
Danke.
welcome. Now, do we have any further business, or are you just here for the repartee?
Was ist das Problem, wenn mehr Leute nach Byzantium kommen?
What's wrong? It erodes the very pillars of our society. Merit, decorum, personal hygiene. This city is meant for us, the system's finest. We earned its luxuries. But now we are overrun with the unworthy and the ungrateful, and this early retirement nonsense is making it even worse.
Was bedeutet es mit dem vorzeitigen Ruhestand?
The worst thing to happen to Halcyon. A contest that gives even the lowliest, most inefficient workers a chance to live in Byzantium. By simply winning a lottery, those early retirees get an exclusive district of Byzantium to themselves. No one else is even allowed to go there. Tell me, how is that fair?
Du hast recht, es ist nicht fair.
Exactly. It's not right. I deserve to see any district I please. Why, if it weren't guarded, I'd... You know, you look like you've been shot at before. What say I hire you to investigate this travesty, and you get paid to do so?
She's got a point. We're probably gonna get shot at anyway. Might as well make a few bits.
Yes. Listen to your... What is that person's job exactly? Are they your secretary? Personal masseuse? Or do you just keep them around as a mobile armrest? Well, it doesn't matter. What's important is that you think this is a fabulous arrangement, and you'd be thrilled to lend me your services. Aren't you?
Klar, ich schau mich mal um.
Fantastic. Consider yourself employed, vagrant. I hear the chosen retirees all enter the retirement district via the port landing pad, but it's completely locked down. You'd never get in that way. Unless, of course, you had a wealthy, beautiful benefactor of impeccable social pedigree, which you do. How fortunate for you. These codes will get you past the lockdown. Oh, and don't worry about subtlety. I don't care how you deal with security, just correct this injustice at all costs.
Wie bist du an die Zugangscodes gelangt?
The same way anyone gets anything here, of course. I made friends with the right people. Bits might earn you a place in Byzantium, but that means everyone here has little need for more of them. For favors like this, you need to spend... let's call it social capital.
Ich sollte gehen. Gut. Byzantium Estates. Wo ist denn jetzt... Da sind die zu Hause. Fernsehanwesen. Und da soll ich mich jetzt daneben benehmen, hat Ellie gesagt.
Marilyn, is that you?
Laws, we certainly didn't expect to see you like this.
And I didn't expect you to renew your marriage contract. But we're all full of surprises today, aren't we? Speaking of surprises, you should meet my new friend. We've been running around the system for a while now, stirring up all sorts of trouble.
Hallo.
Play the ruffian angle some more. You're supposed to help me make an impression. Anyway, you're probably wondering where I've been all this time.
Not exactly.
The last few years have been a bloody haze. You wouldn't believe the messes we've gotten ourselves into. Right?
Diebstahl, Vandalismus, Obszönitäten. Sucht es euch aus. Wir haben es alles mindestens zweimal gemacht.
Yep, we're a pair of disgraceful lowlifes.
Marilyn, this really isn't the best time. Perhaps you should go.
Behandelt sie nicht so. Sie hat einen langen Weg auf sich genommen, um euch zu sehen.
I mean, we had other business in Byzantium, so it's not like we went out of our way. But you can't just kick us out. We'll stay as long as we like. And while we're at it, we'll drink your expensive hooch, wear our outside shoes all over your nice floors.
Moment mal, diese Böden sind nicht nur hübsch, sie sind aus hochwertigem Marmor.
He's right. Since when can you afford authentic Terran marble?
That's what we've been trying to tell you, dear, but you must understand, we hadn't heard from you in ages.
We thought you were dead.
Könnt ihr ein bisschen weniger enttäuscht klingen?
I'm not dead. I just never wanted to talk to you again.
I'm afraid the distinction was lost on us, darling.
Wieso habe ich nur das Gefühl, dass ihr beide euch gleich für etwas entschuldigen werdet?
We only did what any grieving parents in our position would do. We collected on your life insurance policy.
And the payouts have been rather substantial.
You what?
Aber ihr seid sicher sehr viel glücklicher nun, da ihr wisst, dass Ellie am Leben ist und es ihr gut geht, oder?
Of course. And we shall always harbor that joyful secret deep within our hearts.
And you'll report it to the insurance company, right?
It's not that simple. For one thing, we'd have to cut back on so many necessities. The neighbors would be sure to notice.
Dann erzählt ihnen, dass Ellie zurück ist. Ihr werdet das absolute Stadtgespräch werden.
That's the other problem.
We had to explain your disappearance somehow.
We couldn't very well tell people you'd run off to become a miscreant, could we?
Ich möchte euch informieren, dass Ellie jetzt eine professionelle Abtrünnige ist.
Someone could hear you.
We concocted a story about Celeste Jollycurl designing a pair of 12-inch heels for you.
One of a kind, naturally.
that led to your tragic death when you tripped and broke your neck.
It was quite the story. People were talking about it for weeks.
Ellie, hast du genug von diesen Arschlöchern?
Not until I get some answers. Couldn't you have at least made up a better story? Something with pirates or raptidons? And what are you gonna do now that we're here?
Yes, about that. We were just about to ask you to, leave.
Quietly, if you don't mind.
Ihr Leute solltet euch was schämen.
Well, we're trying to avoid further embarrassment.
I'm afraid it would cause quite a stir if the neighbors saw you two stomping about.
That's it? You just want us to disappear now?
Marilyn, please.
Don't cause a scene.
Ich weiß ja nicht, wie es dir geht, Ellie, aber ich bin bereit, eine Szene zu machen.
Let's just get out of here, Captain.
Oh Mann.
Fine. I'm gone. Forever this time. Let's talk outside.
Solche Arschgeigen, ne?
Can you believe those two? We'd hardly been there a minute and they turned us out like yesterday's garbage.
Sie hätten nicht so aufgebracht sein sollen.
I wanted them to get upset. I just thought it would play out differently. They'd both be sitting there watching one of their vapid aetherwave dramas, and then we'd walk in. Mother would drop her mock apple cider, and the glass would shatter all over their overpriced marble. Father would tear off his glasses and blink open-mouthed.
Und dann?
I'd have a great one-liner in the tube. I was thinking either, the leather's fake but the scars are real, or, oops, did I just track awesome onto your rug?
Du hast einen Sinn fürs Dramatische, das muss ich dir
I'll
lassen.
consider that a compliment. Now, getting back to my story. Father would throw his hands up, because this would be just like me, to come back and make a big scene. Then, Mother would do the old, "You had us worried sick." Her eyes would be red, and she'd have her fist in front of her mouth to stifle a sob.
Hey, halt die Ohren steif, du bist besser als das hier.
I just didn't want to get booted out of the house I grew up in like that. It's embarrassing, you know. And I've got a reputation to maintain.
Es tut mir leid, das ist eine schwierige Situation.
I'm used to rough situations. Like when someone loads your pistol with blanks and strands you in a Marauder moonbase. Or traps you in an airlock with an angry mantis worm.
Diese Geschichte spiegelt ein Bild von ihnen wider, nicht von dir.
But I want to talk about me now.
Du kannst etwas aus diesem Vorfall lernen. Was das ist, musst du selbst herausfinden.
Can't I just have a drink and punch some poor defenseless pillow instead? Anyway, I don't want to sift through this lousy experience for meaningful life lessons. I'm mad, and I want to do something about it. Something like... Wait a second. What if I could get that money?
Sprich weiter.
I could open a new account, designate that account holder as a sole beneficiary. All the payouts would go to me. I'll make money without doing a thing. And I'll get to cut them off.
Okay, wie stellen wir das an?
My policy is with the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group. They have an office in Byzantium. Maybe you could use some of your people skills to help me set up a dummy beneficiary account. If that doesn't work, I'm sure we can find one of their terminals and do it ourselves.
Los geht's. Finde das Büro der Versicherungsgesellschaft. House of Inebriation. Pastry and larder. Pardon the mess, we're getting a facelift.
Try Anticleos. It's better than nature.
Mann, 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 da ist ganz schön was los, ha? GIG, sicheres Postfachsystem. Der einzige Brief in diesem Postfach ist an das Außenbüro der Greater Halcyon Insurance Group in Fallbrook auf dem Planeten Monarch adressiert. Eröffne ein Scheinkonto als Leistungsempfänger. Für Ellie.
Doesn't look like any of the corporate freighters.
But what would they be doing here? How did we ever get permission to...
Schauen wir doch dann. Ja, warte mal jetzt hier. Fertigkeiten. Nicht. Wir müssen hier jetzt Kleidung kaufen für Pavati. Da machen wir hier gleich weiter mit diesen Begleiterquests. Da muss ich jetzt nur hier hoch. Ja, ja, da ist das Modegeschäft. Hallo.
Hips, over here. Let me take a closer look at you. Don't speak. Hold that posture for a moment while I admire you. You have a natural contrapposto, my dear. The way you rest your weight against your hip suggests a certain rugged charisma possessed only by the mighty primal and the well-traveled spacer. Splendid. I love it.
Das siehst du alles an der Art, wie ich stehe?
Your walk, your posture, the cut of your clothes. You carry yourself with the bearing of a noble, but you dress like a barbarian. How deliciously outre. I'm Celeste Jolicoeur, and you, my dear, are exactly what Byzantium needs.
Mir scheint, du kannst Gedanken lesen.
Darling, you and that brutish swagger of yours have been on my mind the moment you stepped into my studio. I'm working on a new line of clothing that will shock this city to its core, and I'd like your help. What do you say, my dear? Care to make history with me?
Klingt doch lustig, ich bin dabei.
Marvelous! You and I are gonna wake this city up like a cold splash of wine to the face. What I need is a survey of the outside world. What does the common laborer wear? How do the wild-eyed madmen of Monarch dress themselves? I've heard rumors, but I require samples. Also, I expect you to model for me.
Du nutzt auch jede Gelegenheit, um mich anzuhimmeln, was? Ich kann's dir nicht verübeln.
Oh, you cad! You'll be the talk of Byzantium once I'm done with you.
Cool, dann wäre ich Topmodel und Filmstar.
The apparel of an iconoclast, the armor of a marauder, and a full ensemble of spacer gear, helmet included. And when I say spacer gear, I mean an outfit worn by real spacers. None of that garbage spacer's choice pedals.
No tall shoes, though. I mean it.
You have the bearing and demeanor of a born model. You're going to absolutely murder this job.
Ich werde sehen, was ich tun kann.
Fabulous! I can't wait to see what you dredge up.
Wo finde ich eine
If
Spacer-Ausrüstung?
I were an enterprising spacer in need of a wardrobe, I'd probably head to the Groundbreaker.
Meine Ingenieurin hat ein Date und braucht ein passendes Outfit
You
dafür.
don't gotta be so forward about my reasons, Captain.
Let me get a good look at you. Turn around, please, darling. My word, such muscular shoulders. You're a vision, dear.
I am no such thing, ma'am.
Nonsense, you're absolutely lovely. Chin up now. I have just the thing for you. Let me do a back-of-the-envelope calculation. Materials, labor, licensing and copyright. There.
Sie ist eine Ingenieurin. Glaubst du, dass sie sich das leisten kann? Sie muss ihre wahre Liebe beeindrucken.
Love? That's the ultimate luxury, darling. Love. Oh, gracious me.
I don't get why that's funny, ma'am.
Oh, my cherub. Who woos for love anymore? That's so... precious. All right, Captain. Here is the absolute best I can do for you.
Naja gut, 3000 Bits könnten wir auf den Tisch legen. Moment mal, hast du überhaupt ihre Maße genommen?
Darling, do I look like an amateur? I read her measurements by eye. And don't you ask, because they're no one's business but her own.
Ja gut, hier 3000 Bits.
There are some things I simply cannot skimp on, darling. Such a lovely young lady deserves the best. Now stand back. Back! I'll enter the settings and get these machines spinning. You'll be broke to bespoke in nearly an hour. And there we are, my darling girl. I wish you a splendiferous evening. And if you don't mind my asking, have you any interest in modeling?
What? Oh, no, ma'am. All them eyes staring at me? I couldn't. No way, no how. I get scared just thinking on it.
I wish you weren't so shy, my Violet. You truly are beautiful. I hope your date sees that as clearly as I.
Wir sehen uns.
Oh, can you believe this outfit? It's so handsome, I'm almost afraid to touch it. Well, I guess that's everything then. After all this time, I just have to actually do it now. You know, there's a part Junlei's been looking for to fix up the air cyclers. They only carried them on big colony ships, like the Hope.
Parvati, auch wenn du jedes einzelne Detail für sie perfekt machst, ändert das nichts an Junleis Gefühlen.
I know. For a while, it felt like everything I did was a little bit of help. And it meant I didn't have to ask her to be mine. Not yet. Not for real. Next time we dock with Groundbreaker, I'm doing it. I'll send June a message and ask her over. Oh, this is real scary, Captain. I'm grateful for all you done.
Okay. Aber das machen wir jetzt natürlich nicht gleich, sondern... Was haben wir denn hier? Öffne einen Scheinkorb. Achso, das müssen wir ja in Vorburg machen. Das letzte Experiment der Chimärikerin, Fraktionsauftrag. Ah, Eddie, Eva Chartrand. Die kaufen wir uns jetzt. Die ist... Da drüben. Ich soll die töten.
Are these gold-plated too?
Hauptmenü, Protokolle. Cascadia kompromittierend. Mhm. Wollen wir? Ah. Gut. Labor aufgeschlossen.
That's far enough. What are you doing here? How did you even get inside?
Lilia Hagen hat mich geschickt, um dich zu töten. Nein, ich stelle ihr die Fragen.
You're in my house, and I'm not fucking around. Start talking.
Ich bin hergekommen, um deine außerirdischen Verschwörung aufzudecken.
My what conspiracy? Let's talk about this. Please. I think there's been a crucial misunderstanding.
Ich höre.
If you came looking for some elaborate scheme, it isn't here. All I'm doing is trying to keep Halcyon alive.
What are you doing, Doctor? This information is beyond classified.
You can write me up in your report. It hardly matters. I'm researching a new way to feed the colony. The crops we transplanted from Earth don't give us the nutrients we need. Our colonists might not realize it yet, but they're starving.
Mhm. Das ist erschreckend, aber es erklärt noch lange nicht die Forschungsarbeit, die ich vorgefunden habe.
The food we grow here barely sustains human life. The colony won't last under these conditions. So, the board let me approach the problem from a different angle. I believe that I could adapt humans to live on Halcyon's terms. That I could change us. Give us the ability to derive sustenance from the nutrients the food does have.
Alles, was du vorzuweisen hast, ist ein Labor voller konservierter Kollegen.
I know. I was there. Thomas was the first to take the gas. A simple test, he said. I told him not to, but he insisted. We learned a lot from his autopsy. Enough that we could try it on each other and know when to stop. No one else died. I must find a cure so his sacrifice isn't in vain.
Du hast eine Menge wertvoller Wissenschaftler verheizt und dabei 0 Lösungen gefunden.
I wouldn't allow us to experiment on convicts or the unemployed. It's wrong, no matter what the law says. Everyone agreed. We accepted the risks. I'm desperate. I've already asked all the best institutes on Earth for help. Years ago, we sent a message out on the Cornelius Vanderbilt, but heard nothing back.
Der Vorstand will die gesamte Bevölkerung von Halcyon anpassen?
Once we can replicate a success, the board will move to rewire our nucleon. With any luck, our next generation will be eating and thriving off Halcyon crops.
Knowing what the board considers a success, that doesn't give me a lot of hope.
You really think the board got our best interests at heart? I mean, they say, but I'm just not sure.
We haven't made enough strides to advance the plan. Hardly any at all. But we have to keep trying.
Soll ich die jetzt umbringen? Ist die Cornelius Vanderbilt nicht einer der Kampfkreuzer, die in Halcyon auf Patrouille sind?
It's been missing for over 2 years now. They never re-established contact after the skip to Earth. Of course, the board is keeping that under wraps.
Imagine losing something with that many guns on it.
How'd you lose half a pair of ships like it were a sock?
The board is uneasy about letting the colony know, seeing as half of their military force vanished without a trace.
Lilia hat mich einer Verschwörung auf die Spur geschickt, aber anscheinend bin ich stattdessen einer Vertuschung auf die Schliche gekommen.
I'd prefer if you didn't use my name when you talk about this. My contract has a list of very terrible consequences for breaking secrecy.
Was für eine faszinierende Geschichte. Nein, genug geredet. Was machen wir jetzt?
You could always shoot me. I assume that's why you're here. If I die, there's no one who can reproduce our work. Every sacrifice will have been for nothing. And we'll be no closer to a solution that feeds the colony.
Pavadi, wie sollen wir es deiner Meinung nach machen?
Seems like she's trying to help, Captain. Honest help. Ain't many in the colony doing that. We should let her try.
Everything I did was for the good of the colony. Consider that.
Was denkst du, Ellie?
I try not to, least when it comes to the moral dilemmas. Lilia Hagen's a useful ally to have, but I'll back you up either way.
I hope you know what you're doing, Captain. I leave it in your hands.
Kennst du Phineas Wells? Wenn du mit ihm zusammenarbeitest, verschone ich dich.
The one on the wanted posters? They say he's an anarchist. A madman, a butcher. I'll do it.
Doctor!
What choice do I have, Commander?
Das hat ja nicht viel Überzeugungsarbeit gebraucht.
If working with Wells is the only way I can save the colony, then I will damn well do it. I need to get out of here. Phineas can contact me when he's ready to work together. For now, I'd better pack up the lab and head somewhere discreet.
Not so fast. Captain, what you just learned is beyond your clearance. Hell, it's beyond mine. Give me one reason why I should let you walk out of here alive.
Weil es weniger Arbeit macht, als meine Leiche hier rausschleppen zu müssen?
Wrong answer.
Ah, ist das so, oder was? Mann, ey.
Investigating.
Tja, ich hab's versucht. Ich hab's versucht.
What do you think you're doing?
Was willst denn jetzt du, Mensch? Gar nix.
I guess, I hope Dr. Wells has the resources to handle this project.
Kehre zu Lilia Hagen zurück. Ja. Fallbrook. Also ich mache mir jetzt mal schnell einen Kaffee, ja. Noch einen Kaffee und dann machen wir